Hey, what's going on, guys? It's White Gaming, and we're back again with some more Survive the Nights. And today what we're going to be doing is going over DEVBLOG 53, the 1.11 preview alongside future plans. So there's quite a few little bits in here, including details of the Halloween event. So make sure you stick around for that. It's exciting. But before we jump in, make sure you subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and some comments down below. Let me know what you think about 1.10 and the plans for the next update. Today is pretty cool. It's a Friday, you know, it's DEVBLOG day, and I like this one. I'm buzzing for the Halloween event. It is very similar to last year for those that played it. There's going to be a few changes, but it was an all-round wicked event. So let's get stuck in and see what we've got alongside it. 1.10 is out on our default branch as of last week, and it seems to be doing really well after a quick hotfix from the team. We spent the last couple of days sorting out 1.11 and 1.12 plans, and they're pretty big. The first blog basically lays out our game plan for the next update. We plan on a quicker Halloween update in the next few weeks. This update will be the main focus of this quick devlog. The team will share greater details and expand on all the planned features as we work through the development cycle. We're hoping to have this out before Halloween. I hope so. It's a Halloween update. They always do. These guys smash out the updates, especially recently. I'm loving it. Loving it. I can't wait for... And as much as I'm loving these quality of life updates, I'm really excited for what's coming after them. I'm excited at the thought of new content and new features. I'm really buzzing for that. And for those that don't know as well, on Monday we will be restarting the Hardcore Survival series, where we try and go from day 0 all the way to day 20 without dying. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited. I cannot wait. Make sure you jump on that. We may potentially be doing a key or two for giveaways. You'll find out some more on Monday. Now, for the version 1.11 roadmap, PvP and player interaction improvements, flexible waypoint systems, lighting improvements and changes, and preparation for zombie replacement and zombie functionality and animation improvements alongside the Halloween content. 1.10 has featured some big changes to the early game experience, especially for new players. We spent a good deal of time working through player reported issues, and we plan to carry that early game polish, feature tweaking and issue fixing through to 1.1. So does that mean the next update that we're getting is content? I might be reading too much into that, so I don't know. Now, PvP and player interaction improvements. PvP was never our main focus. Most following the project know that. We've always wanted Survive the Night's main threat to be zombie based. That being said, we also realise that PvP is of course part of the apocalyptic survival. While we haven't spent much time on PvP, interactions in 1.11 will change that. Below are some of our planned PvP changes. We will also be working on reported PvP exploits and issues. Oh, thank God. Well, the biggest exploit that I think I found is definitely shooting through walls and stuff, or like glitching through walls into people's houses without damaging any doors or locks or anything. It's infuriating, but yeah, it's happened to a lot of players. Now, sleeping bag issues. Setting home placing sleeping bags was introduced in 1.10, and this introduced some unique camping and respawn issues. We will be concepting and introducing a cooldown system for respawns when being killed by PvP. This should balance player experiences nicely. That's a smart move. Yeah, I can imagine, obviously, if you are playing PvP, I don't really play it all too much. I've done a little bit of it on streams and stuff like that, but that is quite cool. I can imagine a lot of people, especially if you're base raiding, you know, a group of you take out some from inside a base and then they will just keep respawning and respawning, and they will always have that upper hand. But hopefully this will fix that. We will introduce the ability to destroy other players' sleeping bags. This introduction will likely see the process take quite some time to accomplish, and we will likely tweak once again based on your feedback. Mental health and self-defense. We wanted to introduce a who shot first style system on top of our mental health for some time now. Version 1.11 will introduce the beginnings of a self-defense system. The idea being those of firing in self-defense will receive little or possibly no negative mental health effects. Now that is actually quite a smart idea. I've never really thought of that. Well, obviously when you are in a firefight and somebody starts hounding down on you, you have no choice but to respond. And if you end up killing 4 or 5 people, then that could really impact your character's mental health, and in turn impact your gameplay quite a lot. So that's quite a smart move. Next up, we've got the player interaction improvements. Player relevance. Player-to-player interactions will get some attention in this update. We've made recent improvements to player relevancy and plan to continue fixing issues moving forward. Relevancy is a big part of co-op game, and we will do our best to get it 100% reliable. Friends on the map. Survive the Nights has developed to be a co-op experience. It's easier to survive with friends around, and the current system doesn't always make this ideal. We recently made big improvements to the map and the compass system. Players now craft a compass and see a digital display when inspecting. The on-screen compass shows the player icons like their home setting, death markers, and horde direction. This, along with the new set home feature, has helped players group up and show in videos. It shows in videos and player discussions. We'll be introducing what is essentially a friend system. This is the basics to a group system that will allow players to mark each other on the map. So they should always know where your friends are and making co-op experience far more fun and fluid. Pretty cool. Makes sense, right? You know where your friends are, and if it does pop up on the map, that will really help. I don't know how they would differentiate though from sort of friends and random players, because obviously if you're in PvP, you don't want to be able to see players that aren't your friends, because that could just destroy the element of surprise, and alongside that make it quite easy to identify players when they're hiding away inside buildings. Now, improved tutorial and player spawns. We spent a lot of time developing our core mechanics, and our development exploded shortly after our public alpha release in November of 2019. From concept to that release, we spent most of our time learning how to develop a game, run a business, and interact with the community. We've tweaked and changed small game ideas, but the general concept of STN remains the same. We do realise, however, that some new players might not really know what that vision is. Survive the Night's concept featured a general theme: prepare during the day and hope to survive at night. While developing the game, we've slowly introduced all of our planned features. While most features from our concepts are now functioning, they can feel disjointed at times. We're trying to get them back to our roots over the coming couple of update cycles. We will be concepting a random spawn system that involves starting players directly in a structure somewhere on the map. This should add for a great deal of variety and gameplay experiences, and this is something that we've always intended to be a feature. May you spawn in a town, you may spawn on a farm. This will drastically change how each new life and each survival situation plays out. This will also allow us the ability to easily expand on the quick guide checklist. We'll be showing players how the game is intended to be played and walk them through the process from starting a fire and healing to fortifying a structure and preparing for the night's onslaught. The system will likely be in place for 1.11 and will be expanding on the idea in 1.12, introducing new traps, fortification options, and general structure improvements. We'll focus more on these improvements as we work through them in the coming weeks. That's pretty cool. I mean, I've had a lot of people comment already saying how this update 1.10 has drastically improved and helped those players that aren't quite, well, not getting it, but they're finding it a little bit difficult to start off with. And I think that's amazing that now players are finding it a little bit easier. They can get in, especially if they're playing on solo, you know, and just learning a little bit, and then they can move into that PvP aspect. Because if you don't really understand the game, it makes it 10 times harder to play in a PvP environment. Because you've got that constant fear of somebody trying to shoot you in the back or just take everything that you've got. And when you're a new player, that can be quite disheartening. So hopefully a lot of the features that they're bringing in are going to really push those new players and give them a bit more of an edge. Because if you are an STN vet, you've got that edge. You know where everything is. You know where to go for this. You know what to do to combat this. So it's definitely, you've always got the upper hand on the new players. So hopefully these systems will sort of help them out a little bit and give them a nudge to sort of even the playing field, even just slightly. We'll see what happens with that. And next up, they're going to be introducing a flexible waypoint system. 1.10 introduced a new quick guide system for starting players. The system highlighted a feature that will showcase and illuminate the next item of interest on your quick guide. We'll be expanding on this system, adding an on-screen waypoint system to guide you to the next objective. The system can be rather dynamic, allowing us to easily expand on game features like the guide. It will also allow for future implementations like basic fetch quests or perhaps more elaborate missions. I really hope they are missions. I mean, we need a trader, man. We need a trader. So three things that I think the game would benefit so much from: a trader, the ability to scrap, and also the ability to move furniture that's already inside buildings. Three things that I would make so much of a difference. Now, next up, this one I am really buzzing for, and that is zombie improvements. The models. The time has come. When we first started STN, there weren't a fabulous amount of amazing assets available. We had a third-party designer make most of our current zombie assets, and a few of them are still original concepts, I believe. Times have changed, and in big ways. There are some great small teams producing assets for Unity and other engines at the moment. It seems insane to not take advantage of this fact and dive into model replacement. That is one thing that... another thing. Sorry, I always say it's one thing. It's more than one thing. That's another thing that a lot of players have said. That the zombies, everything else has changed, and the zombies have always looked the same. I've not been around from the start, but since I've been playing, they have been the same, and it will inject that little bit more freshness into it. So I'm excited for that. Now, last but not least, is the best bit: the Halloween event. And we had a ton of fun last year with the Halloween event. We'll likely tweak that a bit and maybe add a few more goodies. It should be a great time for new players and returning players alike. We'll be sure to get the film back into the project for the holidays and leave it in there for those who wish to watch a movie in a game all year round. Below is a video of what we posted at last year's event. This world will also feature a trick or treat event and houses decorated with jack-o'-lanterns and such. I love this. This advert is sick. The whole Halloween event was amazing.
All messed up.
It's such a beautiful... It was so cool. Literally pull up in a game and watch a film. Amazing, right? I love it. Now available in game. So this is their trailer from last year. They said they might tweak a few bits and maybe change the rewards, so...
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
They're coming to get you, Barbara. I love that. It's such... The whole Survive the Nights driving was so cool. Can't wait to get stuck into this. But this is not a simple process, as you could imagine. We'll spend the majority of the coming version importing, testing, tweaking, and figuring out new assets. The process is time-consuming and demand the whole team's attention. It's not a process we've looked forward to be honest, but it's one we realise is needed, and now that we've sat down and planned for it, we're very excited. You'll not get any sneak peeks from us today, though. This short blog really only scratches the surface. There's a lot more to discuss, and we'll be bringing you Oh, Jesus. Can't talk. And we'll be bringing you progress updates every Friday until release. Once again, we hope to have a QOL update out before Halloween. And a quick reminder before we finish off that Survive the Nights is 60% off at the minute. That is until the 7th of October. And also, go join the Discord if you haven't. There's a load of good stuff on there. The community's friendly. The devs are active. It's a great place to be, especially if you're a Survive the Nights fan. But for today, let me know down in the comments what you think about this this devlog. Let me know what you think about the Halloween event, and if you were there last year or this will be your first time. That is it from me today, though. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and we will see you all next week with some more Survive the Nights. Peace.